Peace, 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 and shalom. Peace, shalom, hotep. However you want it, however you need to be greeted. Peace to
Peace,
you,
peace,
shalom to
peace,
you.
and shalom. Peace, shalom.
Peace to you, shalom to you, hotep to you, and all that good stuff. And all that good stuff. We already know what to do, family. So if we can, let's please first hit that like button. Let's hit that like button. Um, I'm gonna be going live about twice today. Be going live about twice today. There's a couple of things to talk about today. So I'm gonna be going live twice today. This first part of me going live is to address the allegations regarding the case of Brother Polight. The allegations regarding the case of Brother Polight. I want to say first and foremost, let me shout out my moderators in the building. Some of you I also know personally. Let me shout out Wolf Benjamite, Shalom Shalom, Tahira Beloved, Shalom Makoti, Rare Gem, Peace, Shalom, Hotep, Truflix Network, Shalom, Plumantis, Shalom, 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 Shalom. Hit the like button so he won't say it 20 times. You know what, man? I'm not today. Not today, Satan. Not today, Satan. You almost got me, Star. You almost made me jump out. Not today. But yeah, what she said, hit the like button so I won't have to say it 20 times. God damn it. No doubt, no doubt. Again, as always, there's a lot of people talking about this case right now, and there's a lot of people who got their facts way off. One of the most ironic people to me that has their facts way off, and the irony of it is that person is Brother Polight. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that today. Brother Polight got the facts wrong. Damn, homie, you are the star of the case per se. You're on trial per se, right? You're being scrutinized. You're showing up to the court hearings, but you seem to be disseminating misinformation as it pertains to the trial. But don't worry, Brother Polight, because I got you today, brother. I'm gonna help you out. Zion, your big brother always come through to help you out, right? I'm going to help you out today, bro. I'm going to help you out today, brother. I'm going to help you out today. Let's again, family, let's share this live stream as much as we can. Let's also make sure that we can hit the like button. Let's also make sure that we can hit the like button. Let's get the notifications out. A lot of people out here capping. You got a weirdo that calls himself Uncle Sugar, something like that. Weirdo ass dudes calling my name every other video, doing 9-hour lives. Let me just tell y'all right now, there's no man on earth so interesting that I'm gonna do a 9-hour live as a man on another man. Some of y'all dudes out here is weirdos. Women is a different story. It's the opposite sex. It's a different story. Shout out to Sweet Mom for Life. I think she does an amazing job. She did an 11-hour live. I don't know how the hell she did it. Shout out to you, but she made it happen. But any man, where I come from, focus on a man that much, that's a problem. So y'all go let Uncle Sugar know that he has some very weird tendencies. Some very, very weird tendencies. I try not to call these dudes names because they be so happy. You call their name and they put you in their video, their next video. They be so happy. Can you imagine that a person has such a low vibration that any attention that you give them is perceived in their eyes as positive attention? Even if I'm giving somebody negative attention, they're happy because at the end of the day, I got Zion Lex's attention. some of you dudes is really weird. I gotta tell you that. Some of y'all are really, really weird. I gotta tell you that. Straight widows. Straight widows. I don't have to call your name to do what I do. You are completely irrelevant. I don't have to call your name to do what I do. You are completely irrelevant. All right. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna enlighten you guys. I'm gonna enlighten you guys on the charges, the updated charges as it pertains to the Brother Polight case that everybody is following online. I'm gonna update you guys and give you guys some accurate information. I was watching a video earlier this day. Let me say, and I'm gonna say this loosely. Shout out to Jonathan Owens from the Amin Ra Squad. Shout out to Jonathan Owens from the Amin Ra Squad. He went live today on his YouTube channel this morning, and he said some very interesting things. Let me first do this, brother. Let me first do this for Jonathan Owens. Round of applause, brother. Round of applause. Why? Well, you admitted something that a lot of us didn't know. You said that Brother Polight scammed you. You are a leading member, not just a member. You are a leading member of the Amin Ra Squad. You're one of the leading members, at least in my eyes. I don't just see you as a member. You know, I see you as being one of the main people that give them credibility in real time when it comes to scholarship. I got to admit that, right? I got to admit that. But I noticed in your live stream today, Brother Jonathan Owens, that you said that Brother Polight had scammed you during the Kemet on trial debate. You said Brother Polight scammed you, and as of today, you say the amount he scammed you of was $2,200. You said the amount that he scammed you of was $2,200. This is very interesting, y'all. This is very, very interesting. To hear the brother say that he was scammed by Brother Polight for $2,200, to me is extremely interesting, because I don't think that Jonathan Owens should have had to have waited for Brother Polight's perceived downfall to say, yeah, now he's fallen. Let me just bring it out. I think that looks bad, Brother Jonathan. You know, I could big you up where I could big you up and give you props where I believe that props are deserved. But I got to tell you something, brother. For you to reveal that Brother Polight scammed you all the way back to Kemet on trial. Damn, what was Kemet on trial? 2015? 2015 was Kemet on trial? And you now admit that Polight stole $2,200 from you and scammed you as well? That's bad, brother. That's bad. Then you went on in your video to say that you still went on to join New Covenant. I'm not sure, Jonathan, if all of your viewers are as intelligent as I, but I was intelligent enough to connect the dots, because you were beginning to get pissed off with Brother Polight, right? While you were doing your live stream. Apparently, he may have been in your inbox on social media. He may have texted you, or he may have been in the live stream, because you reacted live in your video this morning as if Polight was dialoguing with you now. And then you started to say, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to go in now on you. I'm going to go in now on you. So it's perceived to the audience that, you know, Polight must have been interacting on one of the avenues that I named. Having said that, you finally admitted that he scammed you. But then you said that you were so impressed with Polight at one time that you joined, or attempted, there you go, you attempted to join New Covenant, which I think is very interesting. Which I think is very, very interesting, because you actually specifically said that the time that you attempted to join New Covenant was around the same time that Inky joined New Covenant. And just in case your audience is too slow or dumb or half retarded to know what that entails, let me be the one to let y'all know. Inky was not part of New Covenant, and he could tell y'all himself, and I'm sure he will co-sign what I'm saying. Inky was not part of New Covenant during Kemet on trial. All facts. All facts. I was part of the event Kemet on trial. I was at Kemet on trial, so I know what I'm saying. Me and Polight, everybody knows, were the main antagonists who were selling the event Kemet on trial. If y'all push yourself back in 2014, because we was promoting this event for a long time, then we finally had it. If you put yourself back in 2014, you will remember that the two main people that were going at it to sell the Kemet on trial event was Brother Polight and Zion Lex. All facts. All facts. Me and Brother Polight as antagonists going against each other, we pretty much sold that event. There were a lot of people that participated and played wonderful roles. But if you're being honest, me and Brother Polight sold that event because we was doing videos back to back. Most of the people involved in Kemet on trial lived out of state. Most of the people involved in Kemet on trial lived out of state. Me, Sarnetta, and Brother Polight all lived in New York at this time, so we were all able to interact and do back-to-back videos. Boom, Polight do a video, I do a video. I do a video, he do a video, right? So having said that, my memory is very clear, Smash Rockwell, a.k.a. Jonathan Owens. My memory is very clear that Inky was not part of New Covenant during Kemet on trial. Inky was not part of New Covenant during Kemet on trial, which means, Jonathan Owens, you mean to tell us that you said on your live this morning that you joined or attempted to join Brother Polight's organization called New Covenant. You said that you sent $500 via PayPal to be a part of his organization, but PayPal didn't accept it. And you said you counted yourself blessed. That was the ancestors letting you know that you shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to agree with you on that. The ancestors was trying to tell your ass, you making the wrong move. I'm glad you didn't join New Covenant, Brother Smashwell, because despite, our little back and forth that we do, I actually like you as a scholar. I actually like you as a scholar. I'm going to admit that. I like you as a scholar. I think you're a scholar. In fact, I'm one of very few people that keep it real to say that the Hebrews lost Kemet on trial. A lot of Hebrew brothers don't like me saying that, but I'm going to keep it real. The Hebrews lost Kemet on trial. I was on that team, which means my team lost. Unfortunately, and ironically, I didn't get to speak. So y'all already know how I feel about that, right? I'm gonna just give it the way I feel it. Y'all already know how I feel about that, right? My team lost, but also keep in mind that I didn't speak. I could say what I want to say, but y'all could draw conclusions, right? All right, moving on. The fact that Jonathan Owens admits that Brother Polight scammed him out of $2,200 in ticket sales, right, during the Kemet on trial event, right? Then he says, I had joined New Covenant or attempted to join them around the same time that Inky did. So I'm intelligent, Jonathan. I'm one of those people that you were speaking about in your video that you believe Polight is and that you believe you strive to be. I'm one of those people, Jonathan. And I know you know. Even though you're going to do a video saying, no, I'm not, because I believe you're going on Sarnetta later tonight. You know I am, just like I know you have the potential to be as well. And I want to say this to you, Jonathan. From what you said this morning, it's clear that after Polight robbed, stole, and scammed $2,200 out of you, you still tried to join his organization called New Covenant by trying to send an additional $500. And if PayPal would have accepted it, guess how much you'd have now been scammed out of? $2,700. In my DJ Khaled voice, I gotta say to you, Brother Smash Rockwell, congratulations. You played yourself. But let me move on, man. Let me move on and let's get right into this topic. Let me move on and get right into this topic. Family, make sure that we got all of our representation online, all of our moderators. I see you all, EJ Mitchell. Let me go down the list to see if anybody came in. You, Danielle, I see you. I see you. All right. So I'm about to share my new screen, y'all. I'm about to share my new screen, y'all. And here we go. Here we go. That's right, TrueFlix. Let them know. Today you will be blocked. We don't play over here. You will be blocked. You will be blocked. All right? You will be blocked. All right, here we go. Let me just get rid of this. All right. Then let me now go into this. All right. All right. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. So what I found very, very interesting, right, about the whole Brother Polight case is that the people who seemingly share the most misinformation on the case, or the person, right, currently sharing a lot of misinformation on the case, is actually Brother Polight. Is actually Brother Polight, because I know I'm not the only one who heard Polight say that they dropped two of the main charges, so we halfway home, and he started celebrating. He started celebrating. Let me go into my PowerPoint to show you why that was so sick of him to do. Let me go into my PowerPoint so y'all can see why it was so sick of Brother Polight to actually start celebrating. All right, here we go. Now watch this. Some people out here, let me also say this. Some people out here are so stupid with regard to what's going on with Polight. Y'all could literally go online and see that some of the current titles on these videos read, Brother Polight charges dropped. Charges dropped in Brother Polight case. Y'all are so stupid, yo. Like, this is the reason why Polight, makes or has such a successful career in scamming y'all. Because some of y'all are really stupid. Some of y'all are really stupid. Like, in 2021, with all the information at our fingertips, it takes effort to be stupid today. So y'all not just stupid, but you stupid with great effort. You're not just stupid, but you're stupid with great effort. How did you title your video, Charges Dropped in the Brother Polight Case? How? Can you read? Can you see? But hold on. Let's do this the right way. So we're revisiting this, obviously, and I want y'all to take a very, very close look. So close that, let me do this too. Let me get rid of myself totally for a minute. I want this to fill the whole screen. All right, as much as it possibly can. All right. At the very, very top, guys, you see L&L, molestation, child, older than 12 or 12-16. I'll explain what this means. L&L stands for lewd and lascivious. Lewd and lascivious. Some of y'all doing videos, it's a shame. It's a shame what we seen online with some of y'all doing videos. Because some of y'all are really doing videos online, not only giving misinformation, but you can't even pronounce the terminology used. This morning, I'm hearing Jonathan Owens go from saying lascivious to lascivious. Lascivious charges. Like, yo, y'all don't visit the internet to get the correct pronunciation on these things before y'all speaking on it? Hold on, I gotta talk to y'all. Like, let's be serious, y'all. You mean to tell me y'all not visiting the internet to at least get the correct pronunciation on these terminologies that you obviously are not familiar with, because you're so unfamiliar with the terminologies that you are butchering the pronunciation. Y'all got to get y'all shit together, man. Like, it's so sad what we seeing out here. Y'all got to get y'all shit together. Like, if you're going to present information on your platform, be professional. Aim to be professional. Damn. I'm watching y'all live streams and you're talking about Brother Polight was charged with lewd and lascivious acts. Lascivious? The word is lascivious. Lascivious. And anybody with an ounce of intelligence would have immediately X'd out your video and stopped watching you like I did with y'all. Because y'all are totally hilarious to the point where it's embarrassing and shameful. Because this case is so high profile in the social media world right now that it attracts so many different ethnicities and such a large demographic. You got so many people from ethnicities watching y'all videos talking about Polight was charged with lewd and lascivious acts, looking at you saying, Jamel, I think you mean lascivious. Jamel, so honey, come here, honey. I'm going to rewind it. I'm watching some guys live on Brother Polight, you know, the scamming guy that reads the Medu Cheddar. Jamel are one of them that are doing videos on him. He just said Polight was charged with lewd and lascivious acts. This is ludicrous, honey. Yo, y'all are really retarded, Joe. Y'all are really retarded. If you're going to do a video, man, at least take the time to go and research the terminology you're looking at. Jonathan Owens. And the rest of y'all names ain't even significant for me to mention that have done this. But I respect Jonathan enough to mention his name, and he damn sure did it on his live this morning. He couldn't figure out whether it was lascivious or lascivious. Very interesting. Because I had debated Jonathan Owens a couple of months ago, and he attacked me for not pronouncing a Medu or a hieroglyphic term properly. Now, I'll take that. Number one, you've been studying hieroglyphs or the Medu longer than me, so I'll take that. But I got to ask you, Jonathan Owens, you having problems with your first language, English. Damn. Let me go on. Let me go on, man. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. Let's get back to business. Watch this. So L&L stands for lewd and lascivious. MOL stands for molestation. Of course, we have child. 12-16 means a child who is above 12 yet under 16. That charge is a felony. As you guys can see, that charge is repeated twice. Then we have lewd and lascivious conduct of a child younger than 16. That's also a felony. Then we have lewd and lascivious exhibition by a child younger than 16 by an adult over 18. Then we have, and that's a felony as well. Then we have contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and that's a misdemeanor. That was, giving a minor drugs, alcohol, pills. Then we have these last two charges at the end, which I want to take time to explain. The first one says engaging in sex acts, and it says 414. This refers to engaging in a sex act with a minor at the age of 14. That's a felony. The disposition next to it says no action, which means that charge was in fact thrown out. That charge was in fact thrown out. The next one is sexual battery. That's a felony. The disposition next to that also reads no action, which also means that charge was thrown out, or you can say the motion to dismiss was granted on those two charges. Now, when people are on here saying now that the charges were dropped on Brother Polight, y'all need to be specific. You need to say 2 out of the 7 charges placed upon Brother Polight's record was dropped. Don't go on YouTube talking about All charges dropped in the Brother Polight case, or simply the blanket term, charges dropped in the Brother Polight case, because then you're giving misinformation on YouTube. You're spreading misinformation. All of the charges were not dropped in the Brother Polight case. Brother Polight still has an ongoing case that he is currently dealing with. All of the charges certainly have not been dropped. There are 2 charges, both felonies, which were dismissed. That was engaging in a sex act with a child of the age 14. And the other one was sexual battery by an adult older than 18 by a child between the ages of 12 and 17. Both of those are felonies, and both of those were in fact dismissed. But let me open your eyes to show you, right, to give you in real time a real breakdown of what's going on here. Because again, everybody could notice that it was dismissed, but how many of you are intelligent enough to share this in a way that you guys are going to be very, very much enlightened on? All right, very, very much enlightened on. So here we go. Next screen. We'll get into that. I read these terms already, but I'm going to read a couple of more for those of you who might be new. I have some new terms to share with y'all, but I'm going to read these 2 just for those who may just be tuning in. Lewd or lascivious battery in Florida. In Florida, lewd or lascivious battery, more commonly known as statutory rape, criminalizes consensual intercourse with a child older than 12 but younger than 16. All right. Under Florida Statute 800-04, the crime of lewd or lascivious battery is committed when a person engages in sexual activity with a child older than 12 but younger than 16. So if we could go back, y'all, to the first 2 charges that were dismissed, y'all got to realize that the prosecution or the state attorney dismissed these 2 charges because there was no penetration. So they're not going to go and vie for or try to prove that there was a sexual encounter in the sense of vaginal penetration. No, they're not going to do that because they know that obviously that didn't happen and obviously they can't prove it. So they dismiss those. But what y'all about to see in a couple of moments is what they did do puts him in even more hot water. So again, the fact that he's celebrating, and most of y'all retards is out here changing the narrative, talking about the charges are dropped. I heard one brother who I used to respect for a long, long time. Salute to you, my tribe. I see you. Just made you a moderator, in fact. Salute to you, my tribe. I see you. Just made you a moderator, in fact. One brother I used to respect for a long, long time, right? Even though this brother did so many things over the course of years to me that I believe was grimy, I always showed this brother respect. Always. Me and this brother recently had a fallout, and ever since I have not looked back, and nor has he looked back. And there's no intention or desire on both of our ends to look back. But what I want to say is I always respected this individual, regardless of how much grimy they have been towards me, the community, and even my faith. I've always treated this person with a lot of respect. Having said that, I heard this person say on their live a couple of days ago, if not yesterday, that Brother Polight's charges were dropped. And that's why I didn't want to jump out the window because y'all didn't know how this could go. Shame on you. Shame on you. Because I know you ain't so stupid that you can't read either. So shame on you. Them goddamn charges wasn't dropped. There were 2 charges that were dismissed. All of his charges were not dropped. And then the idiots who follow behind you, they went and did videos and literally entitled the video, "Charges Dropped Against Brother Polight." But I'm going to show y'all that all of that is fake news in this live. Watch this. The new charges on Polight's roster right, or his court docket read, lewd and lascivious molestation, which, let me make this a little bigger, y'all, if I can. Okay. Lewd and lascivious. There we go. There we go. I want this nice and big, y'all. Nice and big. All right. Okay. Okay, there we go. Lewd and lascivious molestation is inappropriate touching of a child under 16 on their genital, breasts, buttocks, or over the clothing covering such areas. Right? So Brother Polight's new updated charges entail that the state is ready to argue and present evidence that Brother Polight inappropriately touched a minor under the age of 16 who was in fact 14 at the time, touched her on her genitals or on her breasts or on her buttocks or over the clothing covering such areas. When the state presents that, that means that that's their argument, and it also means they are prepared to share evidence in favor of that argument. Let's just get that clear. Lewd and lascivious conduct, inappropriate touching of a sexual nature of a child under 16. Some of you might ask yourself, well, what's the difference, right? What's the difference between lewd and lascivious molestation and lewd and lascivious conduct? Lewd and lascivious conduct is a blanket term meant to cover all of that. So why did they add it? Y'all about to see in a couple moments that the reason why these last charges were added was to actually upgrade the penalty of what Polight is potentially looking at, right? Without these new charges being added, he was looking at most a second-degree felony. I'm about to show you guys evidence that when they stack these type of charges the way that they're doing right now, it's because they're trying to upgrade Brother Polight's penalty if in fact he's found guilty. The penalty he was looking at, and I say in past tense, he was looking at, was a second-degree felony. But now that they have it stacked, it's now upgraded to first-degree felony, as you guys are about to see. Watch this. Which would make these charges now equal to the charges dismissed, not worse, but equal. So people saying, oh, the worst is gone, the charges that Polight was facing that was really going to put him in trouble, all those charges is gone. Nope, because they dismissed those charges solely because those charges entail something called consent. So in order to defend that Brother Polight did not do these things, his attorney could say, well, the child consented. Even though the child is not of legal age, his attorney still could say that. But what did they do? They said, nah. The state said no. The prosecution said no. We're not even going to waste time deliberating in that direction and winding up with so many more court dates down the line. We're going to crush this one quick. We're going to condense it. This ain't going to be a 2-year process. We're going to condense it, and we're going to give this guy what he deserves. So they said, we're not going to put sexual battery on. We're not going to put engage in a sexual act with a minor of 14 on. We're going to dismiss those because both of those charges deal with consent. And what we're talking about here is not even an issue of consent. And if we were to go in this direction, Polight and his defense would have greater strength. So they said, we have to disarm them. That's why those 2 charges were dismissed. They're disarming Polight's defense because he can no longer say that in some way, shape, and form, the child gave some kind of consent. They stripped him of that. And now they stack some new charges that I'm going to explain to you. Watch this. All right, watch this. So again, lewd and lascivious conduct is a blanket term. Now, lewd and lascivious exhibition is masturbation in front of someone under 16 or some type of other sexual exposure in front of a child under 16. So the state now, in presenting this additional charge, what they're saying is they now have evidence that they're ready to go public with that can prove that Brother Polight masturbated in front of this 16-year-old, which is insane. Insane. Not insane in the direction of, them being wrong to do so, but insane in the direction of, Brother Polight, how in the hell did you wind up in this situation, buddy? You can't debate your way out this one. I promise you, you can't debate your way out of this one. Now watch this. Lewd or lascivious molestation by an adult on a child 12 or older but younger than 16. The crime of lewd or lascivious molestation by a person 18 or older on a child 12 or older but younger than 16 is a second-degree felony. So going back to what I said earlier, some of you might ask, why did we see lewd and lascivious molestation twice? And why did we see lewd and lascivious conduct? And why do we see lewd and lascivious exhibition? All of them carry second-degree felonies. And some of them seem to be redundant, such as lewd and lascivious conduct, which is a blanket charge, or what they call a cover-all, because it covers all of these areas named. Why is the prosecution doing this? You guys are about to see in a couple slides down. The reason why they're doing this is because when you have all of these multiple similar offenses, if this person now, or Brother Polight, is convicted of these multiple felonies, the felony now automatically is upgraded from second to first. Watch this. Y'all gonna see for yourself. When a person is over the age of 18, Brother Polight, and is convicted of molesting a minor under the age of 16 and has already committed one of the following offenses, he or she can be charged with a first-degree felony because of the multiple convictions. So that's why they stacked them shits on his ass. And y'all are so slow, some of y'all, because y'all celebrated with him. Because no matter how lewd or lascivious this man's behavior, thinking, and conduct is, some of y'all are cult followers in his cult following, just like his cult leader, Dr. Malachi Z. York. What the state's attorney is doing, they pulled out sexual battery. And they said, nah, we're not going to do that. Yeah, your motion to dismiss, you got that. You don't even got to file your motion to dismiss. I'll give you that. That's thrown out because that's about consent. Engaging in a child sex act with a child, a minor of the age of 14, we're going to give y'all that too. We're going to throw that out too. So the people watching saying, damn, those charges carried the most time and they're both felonies. All these other charges are lesser crimes. Not necessarily, because if Polight is convicted of those multiple charges of lewd and lascivious molestation, of which that's on the record twice, lewd and lascivious conduct, and lewd and lascivious exhibition, his charges have now been upgraded from a second-degree felony to a first-degree felony. First-degree felony. This is what we're talking about here. Jonathan Owens did a live this morning reading from some of this website talking about this is what we do with the Amin Ra squad. Everybody on YouTube is giving half information. First of all, give credit where credit is due, Jonathan, because your dumbass didn't even know about this website until you watched my live stream that I went live with yesterday. On my live stream yesterday, I went live and showed everything you showed. So why are you acting like y'all started it? Y'all see what I'm talking about, how fake this conscious community is? I went on, did a live stream yesterday, reading out all these definitions. Smashwell, or Brother Jonathan Owens, goes on his YouTube channel today, Smash Rockwell, and says they're the only ones doing this. No, nigga, you was watching my video. Let me move on. Some of these dudes is so crazy, man. Let me move on. So again, let me present this to y'all. The reason why the state's attorney allowed for the dismissal of those two charges is because those two charges, the defense could have said that she consented. And let me read to you. Watch this. Prohibited defenses to lewd or lascivious behavior. That's not the one I wanted to read. Where is it? Where is it? I have one specifically. All right, let me read this one to y'all. Lewd and lascivious conduct is what is called a catch-all charge that allows the state attorney to prosecute someone for touching a child anywhere on the body. So while all of y'all talking about, you know, the major charges were reduced, and now, you know, he still has some other charges, but these charges are minor in relationship to the ones that were taken away, y'all are all wrong. Because what the state attorney did was broaden the charges. You see, the more narrow and the more unique that the charges are, the more set that they are and defined that they are, the more the defense has leeway to go around it. Remember, guys, this is the American judicial system, of which there are several loopholes. And this is a system where money does a lot of talking as well. Having said that, the state's attorney being aware of all that, they said, nah, we're going to disarm him. His money ain't going to work in this case. And we won't allow for any loopholes in this case because we are going to take all of the charges that we envisaged to aim at him, and we are going to stretch them out so general and it's accurate that there's no way to get around what we're talking about. And because we added several of them on, the judgment for them is now upgraded from second-degree felony to now first-degree felony. So let me read that again. Lewd and lascivious conduct is a catch-all charge that allows the state attorney to prosecute someone for touching a child anywhere on their body if it was done in lewd or suggestive manner. Lewd or lascivious conduct is a very dangerous accusation because oftentimes it involves innocent touches that can even be misinterpreted. Are y'all hearing this? The state's attorney know what they're doing? This particular charge, the way that it's defined in the criminal courts, it's so broad that this can be, and I'll read it to you again, lewd or lascivious conduct is a catch-all charge. Lewd or lascivious conduct is a very dangerous accusation because oftentimes it involves innocent touches that are misinterpreted. Lewd and lascivious conduct is a second-degree felony with a maximum degree of 15 years in prison. Y'all laughing, some of y'all, and clapping and celebrating with Brother Polight. I did hear him say yesterday that he was going to turn up. This is crazy, y'all, because that same Bible that a lot of y'all banging on, right, says pride goeth before a person's downfall or destruction. I'm going to say that again. The same Bible that a lot of y'all banging on has some beautiful proverbs. One of them says, pride goes before or precedes the downfall and destruction of a man. Just before you see someone come to the lowest of their lowest, they will have the highest display of arrogance, ego, and despicable behavior. And that's exactly what you're seeing from Brother Polight right now. And all of you, even those that support him, y'all been saying it too. So let me again, bring you up to speed with what we're dealing with. The state's attorney is not giving up in some sense and saying, damn, we don't have much of a case. The state's attorney is saying, we gonna make an example out of this bastard. He ain't getting away with this shit at all. They want to try to use consent as a measure to get away with those 2 previous charges. Nah, watch what we're gonna do. We're gonna throw those 2 charges out and we're gonna pile on some more charges, because if he has multiple convictions on all these new charges that are added, the judgment has now been upgraded from a 2nd-degree felony to a 1st-degree felony. And allow me to read that to you again. When a person is over the age of 18 and is convicted of molesting a minor under the age of 16 and has already committed one of the following offenses, he or she can be charged with 1st-degree felony. And as you see, it's because they were handed down multiple convictions. So if this in fact goes to trial and Polight is found guilty, right, and it is read aloud, right, by what they say, a group of his peers, right, if it's read aloud and he's found guilty on several of these charges, the penalty is now upgraded. The judge can now treat all of these charges together and thereby upgrade the penalty from a 2nd-degree felony to a 1st-degree felony, which now means he's facing 25 to life on these charges. And some of y'all so stupid that you didn't peep that. I got more for y'all. Hold on. I'm not done. I don't fail y'all. I got more for y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure if you're here, you hit the subscribe button. Shout out to Sweet Mom for Life, who has been doing an excellent job. Shout out to my tribe. Shout out to all of the YouTubers that have been genuinely handling this matter in a very mature way, showing respect to the alleged victim, to the alleged victim's mother. Shout out to all of you. To the rest of y'all that's lollygagging and laughing through the whole damn stream, laughing through all the charges. I think some of you retards forget that this is a case involving a 14-year-old baby that was abused by a grown-ass man from a whole nother planet, according to him. No cap, that's what he says. Y'all gotta go watch the videos. It's crazy. It's crazy. I was offered an invite to several shows. Hey, Zion, I want to come on your platform. No, I'm not doing that. I don't even respond. I think I responded to one person. Hey, Zion, we want to interview you on a platform about what you know. Nope. Because what you're not going to do is have me next to you in the bullshit. That's what you're not going to do. You're not going to have me next to you with the bullshit. Y'all are grown-ass men and women, some of y'all, and y'all are up there lollygagging, laughing, when the whole time this case involves a 14-year-old. How many videos some of y'all got? In a 2-week span, you got 30 videos? Imagine, y'all. Yes, we should cover the case, and yes, we should do videos, but have some respect for the family. You got 30 videos up and you don't think that's a lot. And the other guy got 25 and he don't think that's a lot. And one person got 40 and they say, I don't care what nobody think. And when this little girl go on the internet, it's all over the internet. Hundreds of videos. And if she should dare click on one of them, she's watching grown adults discussing a case that has changed and will change her life forever, all the while smiling, all the while laughing, all the while carrying out their own personal agendas and hatred for others, not even focusing on the child right now, because at this point, it's not even about the child. At this point, for most of y'all, it's about getting back at the people we got beef with, which is why y'all notice I don't even call the names of those at this point who I personally have an issue with that were connected to this at some point, because this is mainly about the child. And there's no desire in my mind or heart to take this matter and use it to get back. So some of y'all, oh, Zion, what happened to the audio with Sarnetta and Nepal? I choose to hold on to it. Why? Because first and foremost, it has absolutely nothing to do with this motherfucking case. It's a personal matter between Nepal and Sarnetta that I said I would reveal, and I have the right to reserve that until or unless I need to use it in any further dealing with him, with Sarnetta. But don't tell me I'm capping or I'm fake or I'm paid off because I didn't do it, because I'm smart enough to get what this is. Y'all are so stupid, most of y'all, some of y'all. What you think? You gonna bully me into showing it because you saying, oh, you capping, oh, you was paid off? No, you're a dumbass. And unlike you, I don't make this about my personal dramas and beefs. This is about a 14-year-old baby who was used and abused by an adult who had the trust of her mother. And some of y'all who are participating and sharing the information, y'all not sharing it for the sake of bringing justice and shedding light to what happened. Y'all are sharing it to go back out in the YouTube streets and clap back at the people that may have been busting y'all ass for the last couple years. Y'all need to find another way to fight. Her fight has nothing to do with your beatdowns or issues with other people. Some of y'all really need to remember that. Some of y'all looking real goofy out here. Where is your honor? Where's King Erna when you need him? Somebody honor gotta get snatched out here. King Erna, if you can hear me, we need you, because somebody need their honor snatched. A lot of y'all YouTubers need your honor snatched. The hell is going on? This is about the 14-year-old baby. And stop calling her the 14-year-old girl or the 14-year-old. Make sure you emphasize that she's a baby. Come on, y'all don't got kids? I got twin daughters that are 16. And I always say those are my babies. Those are my babies. So what we doing? Now watch this, y'all, because I have more to share. Watch this. So let me share something with y'all. The reason why most of these people commenting on this do such horrible jobs is because they're not focused on the child. If you were focused on the child, your presentation would be better. And the viewership that you so thirsty to get, you would get. And the subscribers that you so thirsty to get, you would get. But because your motivation is about exposing all the people you got past beef with, you wind up doing a shitty presentation where you barely covering what's going on with the child because you so focused on using this to deal with your past beef that you're doing a horrible job actually covering the case. But like I said, shout out to those very few people who are actually doing it with respect. Sweet Mom for Life, Her Tribe. A couple of you more I'll name, but those are the ones that I've been paying attention to because I don't see them laughing and lollygagging on their stream about it. They know it's a serious matter. Let me play something for y'all real quick to get you guys to know why the state's attorney upgraded the charges and dismissed 2 of them. Watch this.
Welcome back to Florida Criminal Law TV. My name is Stephen G. Cobb, attorney at law, And this is our sex offense series, and we're specifically talking about defenses to different kinds of sex offenses and the way
I need y'all to pay attention into this clearly, because he's about to define for you essentially why the prosecution upgraded those charges. Because the defense, Polight's defense attorney, could possibly state or say that there was consent in some manner. That's why they took away those charges and they added several more. Because if and when he's convicted of these multiple charges, they can now upgrade the penalty from a second-degree felony to a first-degree felony. But first, they must disarm him from using consent. So I need everybody to pay very close attention to this right here.
Welcome back to Florida Criminal Law TV. My name is Stephen G. Cobb, attorney at law, and this is our sex offense series, and we're specifically talking about defenses to different kinds of sex offenses. And the way I'm presenting all of these is by using real life cases with manufactured names, because that's the proper way to do it. Now, a question that often comes up is, what is the difference between 794.011 sexual battery and 800.04 lewd or lascivious acts, molestation, or battery? There are three different subsections of 800.04.
What he's going to break down to you is the difference between sexual battery, which is what Polight was charged with, and lewd and lascivious conduct. He's going to tell you what is the difference between them, and then you're going to understand why the state's attorney / prosecution let those charges go, those two previous charges, and why they now have added 4 additional charges. Watch and listen, guys. Watch and listen.
Welcome back to Florida Criminal Law TV. My name is Stephen G. Cobb, attorney at law, and this is our sex offense series, and we're specifically talking about defenses to different kinds of sex offenses. And the way I'm presenting all of these is by using real life cases with manufactured names, because that's the proper way to do it. Now, a question that often comes up is, what is the difference between 794.011 sexual battery and 800.04 lewd or lascivious acts, molestation, or battery? There are three different subsections of 800.04. And this relates to defenses, and one I haven't even touched on the sexual battery section, and it's one you've probably already thought about, and that is consent. Consent is a defense to sexual battery. However,
did y'all hear that? Consent is the main difference between the charges of sexual battery and lewd and lascivious conduct as it pertains to a defense. I'm going to say it again. As it pertains to a defense, the thing that differentiates sexual battery, engaging in a sex act with a minor in this case, versus lewd and lascivious conduct, is that one word, consent. So what the state's attorney did was not look at the overall case and say, guys, I don't think we're going to be able to do this. Let's go for some smaller charges. We're not going to be able to get him on this. No, y'all stupid. And that's why Polight scammed some of y'all so much, and it's still scamming y'all so much. Because I actually had a brother email me to tell me that since everything was going on, he actually sent Brother Polight, allegedly, in excess of $3,000. Now, if I'm capping, I would have did a video about this a week ago when the brother emailed me, and I would have invited the brother on my show. But this case is not about any personal vendetta I have with anybody. What I did say to the brother is, you can go to this platform or you can go to that platform. I forward him to platforms even bigger than mine and gave him the direct contact info so that he can take it there if he wants to bring light to it there. Because unlike everybody else, I'm not using this girl's case and personal matter to go after my personal vendettas. So I told the brother that first and foremost, brother, with everything that's going on, I mean, brother, and he'll tell you if he chooses to go public at some point, with everything that's going on, you mean to tell me that you telling me you still sent him $3,000 allegedly in light of everything that's going on? I started to tell him, brother, I don't know what to tell you. Because some of y'all, like, I don't know what to tell y'all. With all this going on with Brother Polight, you allegedly sent him $3,000 and you want me to talk about it? Nah, brother, I'm gonna forward you to somebody else, because first and foremost, it's about the young baby. And secondly, you gotta be crazy to have even done that in this time, to be honest. And I told him that.
All of these is by using real life cases with manufactured names, because that's the proper way to do it. Now, a question that often comes up is, what is the difference between 794.011 sexual battery and 800.04 lewd or lascivious acts, molestation, or battery? There are three different subsections of 800.04. And this relates to defenses, and one I haven't even touched on the sexual battery section, and it's one you've probably already thought about, and that is consent. Consent is a defense to sexual battery. However, it is not a defense to lewd or lascivious molestation, acts, or battery.
Did y'all hear what the attorney just said? Consent can in fact be used as a defense against sexual battery, but it absolutely cannot be used as a defense against lewd and lascivious conduct, which is why the state's attorney / prosecution took away sexual battery and updated his charges with 4 to 5 additional lewd and lascivious acts, lewd and lascivious conduct, lewd and lascivious molestation, lewd and lascivious exhibition. Why? Because Polight's defense absolutely cannot use consent as a means to get out of that. And just for clarity, I'm going to let him say it again. Then we're going to go back into the legal definitions and books to let you see what could possibly be the defense used in a case like this. Polight's attorney, what could he actually use as a defense? And what you're going to realize is, with all of the updated charges that the state's attorney put on Brother Polight now, it took away from everything virtually that Polight's defense could use in favor of Polight. So while some of y'all idiots have been celebrating with Polight, thinking that all the charges been dropped, and these are the real dum-dums out there, and then some of you thinking the worst charges are dropped, that's the half-slow ones, y'all are all wrong. I'm going to let him say that part again, then I'm going to show you something.
Difference between 794.011 sexual battery and 800.04 lewd or lascivious acts, molestation, or battery. There are three different subsections of 800.04. And this relates to defenses, and one I haven't even touched on the sexual battery section, and it's one you've probably already thought about, and that is consent. Consent is a defense to sexual battery.
Consent is a defense to sexual battery.
However, it is not a defense to lewd or lascivious molestation, acts, or battery.
However, consent is not a defense to lewd and lascivious acts, battery, or conduct. Basically, what the state attorney did was to remove the covering that his defense had. Oh, we could say this, or we could say that. Nah, y'all can't say shit. Y'all gonna take these charges. And let me now show you something again. Just in case y'all thought I was done, I'm far from done. I'm far from done. Consent. These are the prohibited defenses to lewd or lascivious battery. Because lewd or lascivious battery is a strict liability crime, the following defenses are statutorily prohibited from being raised at a trial: consent, ignorance of the child's age, and proximity in age. Now that pertains to lewd and lascivious battery. However, consent by the child to the alleged sexual act is statutorily prohibited. So that again refers to a sexual act. And that's why the state attorney said, we're going to take away the sexual battery and we're going to update it to several different counts of lewd and lascivious molestation, of which there's 2 on here, and they both carry felonies. Lewd and lascivious conduct, that's a felony. Lewd and lascivious exhibition, and that's a felony. And as you guys see here, the reason why that was done is because if he has multiple convictions on these charges, lewd or lascivious molestation, lewd or lascivious offenses committed on a person, soliciting sexual contact with a minor, well, that's something different. If he's convicted of all of those different lewd and lascivious acts, look at what it says here. When a person is over the age of 18 years and is convicted of molesting a minor under the age of 16, but has already committed one of the following offenses, meaning there are several convictions on all of these lewd and lascivious acts, he or she can now be charged with a first-degree felony. And that's why the state's attorney/prosecution said, you know what? We don't need sexual battery. We don't need engaging in a sexual act because, first of all, they didn't have sex. So none of that is going to work. And if we did use it, they could still just say consent. But we should also know, guys, that consent, you can't, as a minor, consent. No minor can consent. But remember, when you go into a court of law, these attorneys say anything. So what the state's attorney did was strip them of anything that they could possibly say. And they stacked the charges with different types of lewd and lascivious acts. Because if he is convicted on multiple or several of those lewd and lascivious charges, which are all felonies, the penalty, which is originally considered a second-degree felony, can now be upgraded to a first-degree felony. And let me break this down for you. For some of y'all that's saying that the charges are lesser and he's going to be okay, let's clap, let's celebrate with him, let's turn up. Yeah. Watch what he's going to have to do if, in fact, he's found guilty on these multiple accounts. If he ever comes out to see the light of day, guess what's going to happen? A person convicted of lewd and lascivious molestation would not only be placed on sex offender probation, but would also be declared a sexual offender. As a result, they would be required to comply with sexual offender registration laws in Florida and throughout the United States for the remainder of their lives. Brother Polight, I got one thing I want to say to you directly. As intelligent as you are in potential, what the fuck was really going through your mind when you clapped and celebrated and was eating popcorn when you said that these perceived lesser charges were dropped? Dude, While they drop that, you now have new and upgraded charges, which if you are found guilty of multiple of them, and let me remind you, these new charges are so broad that it's virtually inescapable and unavoidable for you not to be convicted of it based on the evidence that they have against you already. The evidence, everybody's forgetting that there's still some evidence in the case that they have against him. Remember, guys, the DNA was a match. Hence why he was even arrested. So, Brother Polight, if you just get convicted, let's say, of one, which is lewd and lascivious molestation, you have to register as a sex offender for the rest of your life. No matter what state you go to in the United States, you got to say that you a sex offender. And if not, you could be facing time. That's what's going on with Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth. He came to California, he was stopped, pulled over and stopped in his car. They saw that he was a registered sex offender in New York City, but because he did not register in the state of California and he's now a Californian resident, they locked his ass up because it's mandatory now as a registered sex offender that for the rest of your life, no matter what state you move to, you got to announce, I like to touch kids. You got to announce, I've been convicted of doing lewd and lascivious acts to minors. So, Brother Polight, why are you celebrating? Because what this means in potential, what state you going in America to get money? Who the hell is sick enough to pay for a registered sex offender to give a presentation? So that means all your presentations and flying out from state to state to speak, all your speaking engagements, canceled. You doing business with the Jews that you've been bragging about? Man, you was the funniest dude in the world. In your video in the restaurant, you talking to a European Jew, Toda Rabba, which in Hebrew means thank you very much. Oh, now you mess with Hebrew when you're dealing with the Jews. You see, this guy is too fake. But let me tell you something. They care about their brand. If, and strong emphasis on when your ass is convicted of these multiple charges, you think those European Jews that you said on video are far more important to you than black people based on how black people are treating you? You think they're going to stand next to you? Hell no. They're not resting up their band. They're not going to endanger or stain or mess up their brand for a convicted sex offender, child sex offender. No, they're not doing that. So when you turn around, Brother Polight, all you will have is yourself. Because guess what? What you didn't know this whole time is all the women you've been bragging about that you sleep with, they was with you for a reason. The money. You know that. You look at yourself every day in the mirror, so you know why they was with you. We know what you brought to the table before you had the money. So we know what you're capable of pulling, and we basically know what you're capable of not pulling. And what you was not pulling before you had the money is all the females you see around you now. So I want you to think about it. All these new females you bragging with, the ones you show more than you show your wife, yeah, they're not going to be there no more. They gone. Because all the things that you had that attracted them is gone. They wasn't attracted to you. They was attracted to you tricking on them. Once that's gone, they gone. Then the final slap in the face might be the ones that was there with you before this all happened. Because when they got to sit there and think about, this man had us at home, more than one of us at home. It was legal for him to be with us. We put so much love and care in him. We was with him before all this started. And he still went and committed a criminally sexual act with a minor. When they finally wake up and realize who you are and how much you embarrass them as well by doing that, and how much they don't want their children to think that this behavior is okay by staying with you, you might wake up and realize you don't got nobody there for you. So, brother Polight, I'm not going to join you in eating popcorn now because, as the saying goes, he who laughs last laughs the loudest. But what I will say to you, brother Polight, what I will say to you is pride goes before a man's destruction. Just before a man is destroyed and brought to his lowest, he exhibits extreme acts of pride and arrogance. And that's what we see you doing. And those of us who are deeply spiritual and intelligent, we know what that means. Your ass about to fall and fall hard. Pause. Peace.